Imagine a world where the boundaries between reality and fantasy blur, where mischievous fairies, confused lovers, and magical potions rule the night. Welcome to A Midsummer Night's Dream, one of Shakespeare's most enchanting and magical comedies, where chaos reigns and love takes on the wildest forms. In this fantastical tale, nothing is quite as it seems, and the characters find themselves swept into a dreamlike world where magic changes everything. If you're ready for a story full of love, trickery, and whimsical mayhem, keep watching because this play is like nothing you've ever seen before. The story begins in Athens, where Duke Theseus is preparing for his wedding to Hippolyta, Queen of the Amazons. But soon, the attention shifts to a group of young lovers. Hermia, deeply in love with Lysander, wants nothing more than to marry him, but her father has other plans. He insists she marries Demetrius, a man Hermia does not love. Desperate to be together, Hermia and Lysander decide to flee into the forest to escape the Duke's law and Hermia's father's demands. Little do they know, the forest they enter is no ordinary place. As the lovers venture deeper into the woods, things get even more complicated. Helena, Hermia's best friend, is hopelessly in love with Demetrius, even though he wants nothing to do with her. In a fit of desperation, Helena betrays Hermia and Lysander's plan to Demetrius, hoping that by following him into the woods, she can win his affection. And so, all four lovers find themselves in the heart of a magical forest, where things quickly spiral out of control. Before we go any further, make sure to subscribe for more enchanting stories and deep dives into Shakespeare's greatest works. You won't want to miss out on what happens next. Now, deep in this mystical forest, we meet the fairies who control much of the chaos. Oberon, the king of the fairies, and his queen Titania are at odds over a young boy, whom Titania refuses to give up to Oberon. Seeking revenge, Oberon enlists the help of his mischievous servant, Puck, to use a magical flower that causes people to fall in love with the first person, or creature, they see upon waking. Oberon's plan is to make Titania fall in love with something ridiculous, and in the process, he decides to help Helena by making Demetrius fall in love with her. But, of course, things don't go as planned. Puck, in true trickster fashion, mistakenly enchants Lysander instead of Demetrius. Lysander, now under the influence of the magical flower, wakes up and immediately falls in love with Helena, abandoning Hermia without a second thought. When Demetrius is eventually enchanted as well, he too falls for Helena, leaving Hermia heartbroken and confused as both men suddenly fight for Helena's love. What follows is pure chaos, with the lovers chasing each other through the woods, hurling insults, and completely losing control of their senses. Meanwhile, Oberon's plan for Titania unfolds in the most hilarious way. Puck transforms Bottom, a simple tradesman who is in the forest rehearsing a play with his fellow craftsmen, into a man with the head of a donkey. When Titania wakes up, she instantly falls in love with this ridiculous figure, doting on him and showering him with affection, much to Oberon's amusement. It's a scene filled with absurdity, showcasing Shakespeare's brilliant ability to blend comedy with the fantastical. As the night progresses, the magic in the forest creates even more confusion and laughter. The lovers' quarrels reach a fever pitch, with Puck enjoying the chaos he's caused. But eventually, Oberon steps in to set things right. He orders Puck to reverse the enchantments, restoring the natural order. When the lovers awake, Lysander is once again in love with Hermia, and Demetrius, this time genuinely, remains in love with Helena. They return to Athens, no longer enemies, but friends, and ready to be married alongside Theseus and Hippolyta. The play ends with the comical performance of the tradesman's play, a ridiculous and over-the-top version of Pyramus and Thisbe. It's a fitting conclusion to a story filled with mistaken identities, absurd love triangles, and magical mishaps. In the end, Shakespeare reminds us that love can be as unpredictable and wild as a dream, but it's always worth the journey. If you've been enchanted by this magical ride through A Midsummer Night's Dream, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more explorations of Shakespeare's timeless works. You won't want to miss out on more of these captivating tales. This play is more than just a comedy. It's an exploration of the thin line between reality and fantasy, of how easily our emotions can be swayed, and of the sheer joy that comes from watching the chaos of love unfold. Shakespeare's ability to create a world where magic governs the heart is what makes A Midsummer Night's Dream one of his most beloved and timeless comedies. So, what would you do if you found yourself lost in a magical forest, with love spells, fairies, and trickery all around you?